Alright, I'm going to introduce you to mud pots and fumaroles on this fountain paint pot nature trail. It's a location in Yellowstone that's not too big. There are a fair number of people here, and it's very interesting to look at. This area is fairly easy to navigate. You'll have maybe 2 or 3 traditional pools, hot springs, in areas like this, where it's kind of interesting to see tufts of grass growing out among all this, well-watered mud with different colored microbes on it. I'm just going to go ahead and call these types of hot springs swimming pools because that's exactly what they look like. They look very, very inviting, except for the fact that if you were to body splash this, you'd get cooked within seconds because it's close to boiling point. But it's just wonderful to look at. I wonder what it looks like during winter. Alright, we're here at the fountain paint pots. The fountain paint pots have 3 basic colors due to the state of oxidation of the iron compounds in the mud: red, yellow, and brown, but I just kind of see a rusty red and mostly gray, and that's just honest reporting. So not really seeing the yellow here, maybe a little bit of brown around the edges, but oxidation basically means rust of the iron. So not all the red colors you see in Yellowstone next to hot springs or mud pots are due to microbes. The boiling action in most mud pots looks fairly tame, and that's because mud is such a viscous fluid, but if it were to spray out, it would cause far more damage to anything it touches. Here's a fumarole. Fumaroles are intimidating in every which way. They exude superheated steam at a nearly constant rate, although we'll see variations in that later. Steam carries a lot less heat with it than water or mud, but it can have a much higher temperature. There's basically no upper limit on the temperature of steam. Red spouter seems pretty unremarkable until you see the sign. It changes state from a hot spring to a mud pot to a steam vent as the seasons go by and it becomes drier, until it becomes hydrated again during the winter. The subject I'm taping here is unremarkable compared to what the sun is doing. This is pretty typical of what happens in Yellowstone. You'll have thick cumulus clouds with dark gray linings, and all of a sudden they'll fly by and the sun will come out. So you can just see the difference there in the videography. This is Spasm Geyser. It's a nice little geyser that has all the appearances of just a small boiling hot spring, and maybe it becomes a mud pot later when it becomes drier in the fall. And right over there you have Clepsydra Geyser. This one is beauty. It just keeps spraying at a pretty decent volume and it exudes a lot of steam. Here's a close-up of Spasm Geyser and a close-up of Clepsydra Geyser. So this one in my book beats Old Faithful anytime, just because it's exciting to watch all the time and you can get a much closer look. Old Faithful is nice too, but it's just really far away, and with 400 people around you, it kind of ruins the experience a little bit.